Please sit down, please. Sit. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. आवाज ठीक है? ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स आवाज आ रही है? So most of the things we have finished about Spinoza, but we will add a little more things so that it becomes easy to write answers. We have some ready-made things also. So any problem in Spinoza till now? No problem? पक्का? हाँ वो लिखेंगे आज. Anything else? Okay. So let us start again. What did Descartes do? He created, according to him, there was this God, and there were two relative substances of body and mind, and these two were mutually independent but dependent on God, and these two interacted through the process of interactionism. Interactionism meant a physiological explanation where he said that soul is seated in pineal gland, and from there soul rides the body like a rider rides a horse. So through it there is this interactionism through which this body and mind interact. This is it was? Okay. Then we moved on to Spinoza. Spinoza rejected this relative substance and ultimate substance. He said that there can be only and only one substance. Because the moment you say substance, it means independent of everything for its existence as well as its knowledge. The definition of substance is same for Descartes and same for Spinoza. Be clear. There is no change in definition. But Spinoza says that there can be only and only one substance. And what is the nature of this substance? Independent, eternal, infinite, all those things beyond time and everything beyond time and space, impersonalistic, indescribable, self-caused, causa sui, self-dependent, all these, there are numerous other that you will find in notes. So all of these are characteristics of this particular substance. And from where he reached this substance? How did he reach this substance? Through geometric method. What was this geometric method? So he compared this substance with the space. So देखना एक बच्चा को शायद लैपटॉप पे नहीं देख पा रहा है. So space, just as space is infinite, but the moment you put a small finiteness to it, maybe you build a triangle, maybe you build a circle or whatever, what makes it? It becomes a modification of that space only. So similarly, the substance is infinite. This infinite substance has infinite attributes. Out of these attributes, what are the two attributes that we can know? Extension and cognition. Now, this extension and cognition means infinite extension and infinite cognition in the world. When these are put in a finite modes, then this is the modes. So just as triangles are to space, similarly, human beings, animals, plants are to the substance. The same comparison, this comparison he also made was just as waves, ripples, and bubbles are to ocean, similarly, humans, plants, stable things are to the substance. The same analogy that can be made. Clear? So this is how he described his geometric method plus substance. Now there was this problem that how did this extension and cognition mutually interact, because the moment we have a thought, we also have an activity. The moment there is something changes in the external world, we also have a change in our mental things. So there must be some interaction that might be going on, as is observed, isn't it? The moment there is some, if my hand gets hurt, brain instantly gets the signal. So how are they interacting? Are they talking to each other? Why can't they talk to each other? They're very different from each other. Extension means something which has dimension. Cognition is unextended. Cognition means something which has consciousness. Extension means unconscious. They cannot talk to each other. They cannot interact with each other. Then how is this human body, which has both extension as well as cognition, working? This is the mind-body dualism. That why, very right, there is this matter and there is this consciousness. There is this matter and there is body and there is this mind. But how are these two interacting in a human body? Because I can speak and I can also move. So how is it happening? The solution of Descartes was interactionism through pineal gland. He said that it is because both these attributes are parallel to each other. So the moment there is a change in extension, there is a concomitant, corresponding change in cognition. And this cognition is not caused by this change. No. But this change is because both are part of the same substance. Because both are part of the same substance, therefore, change in one gets reflected in the change in other. Come on. So this change can get reflected. So when I say, so can you say that body influences the mind? Is body causing the mental change? No. There is a change in body, therefore there is a corresponding change in mind. Cause नहीं किया है, मैंने हाथ उठा, समझ में आ रहा है? Difference समझ में आ रहा है? According to science, it is all about cause and effect. But according to Spinoza, this relation between cognition and extension is not cause and effect, but simultaneous, parallel to each other. Just because there is a change in hair, and because it's part of the same substance, there is a change in hair. Simultaneously. This theory is known as parallelism. Clear? Okay. And accordingly, when we divide this whole thing, Spinoza has divided it into 3 levels: God, natura, natura, naturans, and God means the ultimate reality, है ना? जिसको, हाँ, nature, yes, but it is like looking at the same thing from different perspectives. When you see God from the highest perspectives, from the topmost perspective, ultimate reality perspective, then you call it God. When you see natura naturans, it is this mode where there is substance with attributes. There is substance with attributes. And natura naturata means substance which is expressed in the form of modes. Which is expressed in the form of modes. So when इसको समझने के लिए, so when there is this mitti or clay which is lying like this, it is God, the highest. And if you mold this mitti into some kind of a small or something in a particular shape, so that you can make some other shapes with it, natura naturans, and natura naturata means those figures that you make out of it. So these are just different levels of formation, just different levels of formation. But in essence, everything is substance only. What are figures made of? Clay. So what are we? We are modes. So actually we are part of natura naturata. We are the evolved form. We are the final form. But ultimately, we are all God or ultimate substance. So this is just the classification. And this classification will have significance when we will read Shankaracharya. Because generally, Shankaracharya has also given these 3 levels. He has given in a much better manner and format. We will understand it there. But then how do you get the knowledge about this? There must be some theory of knowledge also in Spinoza. How do we get the knowledge? So according to him, there are 3 types of knowledge. First is imaginative. What is imaginative? Everything that we say, see, imaginative. Because it's not properly real. So when I see you or you see me, when you see me, do you see substance? What do you see? अरे वो तो स्पाइनोजा पढ़ने के बाद ना. So what do you feel? Do you feel that you and me are same? Or you and me or this table is same? You feel it's completely different. Do you feel that you and the person next to you is also made up of the same common substance? No, it feels different. You hold an identity in your own self and you see things absolutely differently, different, plurality. So this, according to Spinoza, is the imaginative knowledge or imaginary knowledge. This differences that we see is only imaginary or illusory. Because why is it illusory? So clay से हम लोगों ने वो बनाए, बहुत सारे figures बनाए. After some time उनको पानी में भिगो दिया. क्या बन गया? हाथी कहाँ गया? घोड़ा? घर? Table? So the change was real or illusory? Change was, or differences were just an illusion. Can you understand? So I took the clay, I made it into hathi, ghoda, table, toys, plate, cup, all of these things. Different. So a person who is looking from outside, the person is saying, "Arey plate kitni sundar hai, ye kitna sundar hai," ठीक है? But is there any strong difference between these things? No. The moment I put everything back to the puddle of water, where is this plate? Was the plate real? Was the elephant real, or any horse real, or any of these things real? These differences were merely illusion. So all the differences we see among each other, all the differences we are observing or seeing is imaginary. But if we start to reason, then we reach to the next level, that is rational knowledge. What is rational knowledge? Based on reason. When we start to understand this world, this universe, or this substance according to the reason and laws that are running it. So if you know that these things happen like this, you should not be sad, because these things happen like this only. Isn't it? Gravity works like this. So nobody can change that. You have to accept it that how it is. So the moment you do it, you have rational knowledge. But what is the highest end of knowledge? Intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is when you don't see modes anymore. Rather, you see only substance. किसमें आएंगे बताओ? बताओ किसमें आएंगे? Rational knowledge. Okay. So the moment you have intuitive knowledge, what will happen? We will observe substance. We will have this knowledge of that everything is made up of substance. Everything is made up of only substance, which works according to its own nature. And with this knowledge, when you start to work according to the nature, then will there be any problem? It will be utter peace. Utter peace. Okay? He has used it. Not temporary. Actually, he has considered all the change or all the, what do you say, all the differences as illusory. In essence, there is no difference. In essence, there is no difference. Essence is the same, clay. Essence is the same, substance. The differences appears to be illusion according to Spinoza. Yes, temporary and illusory. So according to him, the differences we see among each other or all these things is just an illusion. At the base level, at the core level, all things are connected, all things are same, made up of same thing, that is a part of the same thing, that is substance. How many of you have heard about the butterfly effect? Butterfly effect. What is it? So today go back and read about butterfly effect. It says that even the small events like, flipper of wings of a butterfly can cause big changes across the world. Everything is so much connected, but somehow we are not able to see and understand because we try to see things not from the perspective of substance, but from our own perspective. Rather than understanding these laws as impersonal, we try to see whether they are good for us or bad for us. This is why we are not able to understand these laws. So there is a concept of butterfly effect, which is actually in support of such theories. Fine. Depends. What is the question? लिख भी सकते हैं, ये तो स्किल है. अब ये ऐसे पूछ रहे हो, मैम पेंटिंग बनानी है मुझे, अब पेंटिंग में लाल रंग बनाऊं. पेंटिंग इज अ वर्क ऑफ आर्ट. Painting is not beautiful just because the colors it has. Is it? It is beautiful just because of the colors, just because of the figures that are drawn. It is the combination of all things. Similarly, answer is not good if you just have data or concepts. An answer is not just good if you just put in English without any concept. It has to have a mixture of both. This is a skill you will learn. So you will learn, like, I should put my diagram here because this is much better, in explanation, or I should write in paragraph. But when will this wisdom come? After you write at least 100 answers. After that, this wisdom starts to build slowly and steadily. So don't judge yourself till you write 100 answers. Keep writing. Fine? थोड़ा सा लिख लें और क्रिटिसिज्म भी करते हैं इसके बाद में. Connected. We will do it in Lebanese also. है ना, तब आ जाएगा. Both of them. So both of them have. So basically, Spinoza has not talked about clocks. Clocks have been talked about by Lebanese only. है ना? And rather, this criticism we can write only when we have been asked specifically about parallelism, not in general. Okay. So let us write. After that, we will criticize. Okay. Theory of knowledge of Spinoza. Theory of knowledge of Spinoza. According to Spinoza, there are three types of knowledge. According to Spinoza, there are three types of knowledge. First, imaginative. Second, rational. And third, intuitive. Imaginative, rational, and intuitive. First, imaginative. Imaginative knowledge is based on experience. Imaginative knowledge is based on experience through which we know modes. Example, things and beings. Example, things and beings. Full stop. This knowledge, things and beings, this knowledge is based on differences. This knowledge is based on differences or plurality. Differences or plurality. Full stop. तो किस चीज की नॉलेज मिलती है हमें? एक्सपीरियंस से मिलती है. किस चीज की नॉलेज मिलती है? मोड्स की. और किस चीज की? कोई चीज किसी से अलग डिफरेंट कैसे है? हाउ वन थिंग इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अदर. It is the knowledge of plurality. Fine. Second, rational knowledge. Second, rational knowledge. It is the knowledge where mind tries to know. It is the knowledge where mind tries to know the reality as a whole. Tries to know the reality as a whole. Through reason. Reality as a whole through reason. Full stop. But at this level also, knowledge is dependent on, reason or reasoning ability. Is dependent on reason or reasoning ability. Third is intuitive knowledge. It is the level where knowledge of differences or differential knowledge, or differential knowledge, or knowledge of plurality ends. Knowledge of plurality ends. Full stop. At this level, all things and beings of this world, are known to be deduced from the one and only substance or God. Deduced from one and only substance or God. Substance or God. It is the knowledge of unity. Full stop. This intuitive knowledge is full stop. This intuitive knowledge is non-mediate और immediate knowledge. Non-mediate मतलब कोई मीडियम बीच का, कोई मीडियम नहीं, डायरेक्ट, और immediate knowledge. ठीक है, ओके. We cannot bake it. There is no oven. There is no oven. Okay, next question. What is this? So पहले notes पलट के देखो. Tell me what is the definition of attributes? Exactly. पूरा पढ़ो. और कुछ? अच्छा ठीक है, अभी हम लोगों ने आइडियलिस्ट और रियलिस्ट वाली डिबेट नहीं करी है ना. वैसे वो इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट है नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी कहीं पर लिख लो, आइडियलिस्ट एंड रियलिस्ट डिबेट लिख लो, idealist and realist debate. I will give you in printed and then we will discuss. ठीक है, क्योंकि बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा लिखवाने में. Okay. Let us criticize. या पैंथीज्म लिखना चाहते हो थोड़ा सा, लिख लो पैंथीज्म. पैंथीज्म ऑफ स्पाइनोजा. वैसे प्रिंटेड नोट्स में दे दिया है मैंने आपको, लेकिन फिर भी छोटा छोटा पॉइंट्स लिख लो. पैंथीज्म ऑफ स्पाइनोजा. What is the meaning of pantheism? Everything is in God and God is in everything. हाँ, immanent. बिल्कुल. God is equal to everything. Okay, what else? Can you pray such a God? Is such a God good or bad? Such a God, or the Spinoza's God is kind or evil? अरे कुछ तो होगा ना. नहीं, क्या है फिर? Indescribable. Isn't it? Because it has both. It has both. So it's neither kind nor evil, but it is indescribable. Or indeterminate. One and the same thing. Indeterminate. What else? Impersonalistic. अरे हाँ, तो मतलब अब यही होता है. अब तुम्हें ना 10 या पॉइंट याद हो गया, अब हर जगह पहले वही 10 पॉइंट लिख दोगे. हाँ. Anything else? हाँ, every determination is negation. Fine. But how is it affecting the pantheism? अब हम पढ़ क्या रहे हैं? और क्या क्या implication हो सकती है pantheism के लिए? अच्छा, tell me, if a plant is also a substance, will you cut it? Will you destroy environment? No. This means, isn't Spinoza's philosophy more in line with environment protection? Isn't it? Okay. Is it, does it save us from anthropomorphism? What is anthropomorphism? What is anthropomorphism? Newspaper में तो पढ़ा होगा. Anthropocene era. India is entering into, sorry, not India, world is entering into Anthropocene era. What is it? न्यूज़पेपर में नहीं पढ़ते क्या? आज के न्यूज़पेपर में नहीं है. अच्छा, आज के में है. मैं तो great minds think like me and newspaper. So it's a very old concept, but yes. What is Anthropocene era? मतलब what is anthropomorphism? पहले तो ये बताओ. What is anthropogenic activities? जो humans करते हैं, वो anthropogenic activities. Anthropology मतलब study of human evolution. So anthro means associated with humans. Anthropomorphism means that we try to shape everything, or we tend to get importance or non-importance of anything. We tend to judge importance and non-importance of anything according to their utility in human life. तो हमारे लिए हम हर चीज को क्या शक्ल दे देते हैं? ह्यूमंस के लिए क्या सेंट्रिक है, मतलब ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक फिलोसफी बेसिकली. एग्जाम्पल, एक बहुत ही it's an example by a very famous philosopher. So he says that humans have made their gods in the image of humans. इंडिया में अप्लाई नहीं होता जनरल, बाकी सारी जगह अप्लाई होता है. Humans have made their gods in the image of humans. Had horses being made, were horses making their own god? कैसे बनाते वो? Horses के जैसे? Oxens? Cheating? हाँ? Horses कैसे बनाएंगे? और सॉरी, चीटी कैसे गॉड बनाएगी? चीटी की तो चीटी के लिए भगवान कैसी शक्ल का है? तो असल में भगवान किस शक्ल का है? Can you understand this? That the images of God that we have created, because we are humans and we consider humans to be the highest creation, and therefore we create the images of Krishna Bhagwan in our own image, human body form, all of Jesus Christ, or any religion you take, the God takes up the form of human body. And isn't it a anthropomorphism, tending to be human centric? But such what do you say, such bias is not found in Spinoza. Why? Because everything is substance. Even rock is substance. Table, substance. Humans. Has he created any difference? No. Has he created substance into the image of humans? No. Humans is just one of the many other substances, many other modes. Many other modes. So just as table is a mode, similarly human is a mode. With a higher cognition, but mode. So he saves his philosophy from anthropomorphism. Okay. Any other thing that you think that should be discussed in pantheism? Any other point? सोचो, दिमाग लगाओ. Perfect. देखो, this is how you start thinking. Because if you start thinking in philosophy, soon you will not have to learn it. You will see the philosopher and you know what arguments to write. Then it becomes absolutely easy. So when God is equal to everything, God is equal to nature, will God be the creator? No. Does this relation of God is cause and effect, or it is it a cause and effect relation between God and world? No. It is the relation of identity. Both are same, just different form, but same. एक ही चीज है, बस देखने का तरीका अलग अलग. जैसे ऐसे मैं बताती हूँ. बताओ, what can you see? Plain tissue paper? And you can see some lines. Is the tissue paper different? Same thing from different perspective. Same thing from different perspective. So the perspective is that differs, but the thing remains to be substance only. समझ में आया? Essence of substance, harmless, era of Homo sapiens. Anybody who has read the book of Yuval Noah Harari, Homo sapiens? You've read it? Very good. Puri? Homo Deus. Lovely. कभी मौका मिले तो पढ़ लेना. Lovely book. Homo sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. Okay, very nice book. Okay, लिख लो, चलो चलो जल्दी से लिख लो. Pantheism of Spinoza. Spinoza accepted absolute and impersonalistic substance to be the highest reality. Full stop. Which can only be known through rational or intuitive knowledge. Which can only be known through rational or intuitive knowledge. Full stop. Full stop. To save himself from abstraction, he called this substance as God. Full stop. Next point. Spinoza's pantheism differs from the deism. या deism भी बोलते हैं इसे, deism और theism. Deism and theism, as it considers God to be identical with the world or nature. Considers God to be identical with world or nature. Full stop. Next line में लिख लो, God is everything, everything is God. God is everything and everything is God. Though European thinkers and traditionalists called him as atheist. But Spinoza never declared him to be atheist. Never declared himself to be atheist. Next point. In pantheism, God and world are identical. And inseparable. God and world are identical and inseparable. The relation between God and world is not of part and whole or whole and part. The relation between God and world is not of whole and part, but whole and part. Whole and part का मतलब complete और उसका हिस्सा. ऐसा नहीं है कि भगवान बहुत बड़ा है और जगत उसका छोटा सा हिस्सा है. It is not whole and part, but it is the relation of identity. It is the relation of identity. Second, pantheistic views of Spinoza makes his God impersonalistic. Makes his God as impersonalistic. As well as indescribable. इसी में लिखो. As well as indescribable. The next point, the relation between God and world is not of cause and effect. The world and God, or the God and world relation is not of cause and effect, but God is only the logical cause of. God is only the logical cause of world. In other words, God is expressed as world. God is expressed as world. According to Spinoza, next point, according to Spinoza, the world is more mechanical than teleological. The world is more mechanical than teleological, as there is no purpose of substance or God. As there is no purpose of substance or God. This lays the foundation of determinism in Spinoza's philosophy, as well as absence of freedom of will. Absence of freedom of will. अच्छा, आप कंपैरिजन कर सकते हो थीज्म और पैंथीज्म में? कैन यू राइट द डिफरेंसेस? ओके, राइट. बताओ. और कुछ एनवायरमेंट वाला पॉइंट लिख लो इसमें, पैंथीज्म में. लिखवाऊं? लिख लोगे या लिखवा दूं? बताओ कितने चाहते हो कि लिखवा दूं? खुद का दिमाग चलाना ही नहीं ना. लिखो. Pantheistic views of Spinoza are beneficial or in line with environment protection. एक और पॉइंट लिख लो. Pantheistic views of Spinoza save him from anthropomorphism or anthropocentric worldview. Anthropocentric worldview. Hmm. स्पाइनोजा के टाइम पे थे नहीं शायद. Yes, so there is a lot of problem with the kind of theory that Spinoza has given. Because if everything is fixed, then is there any mistake? No. Mistake is also fixed, yes. Even if it is fixed. Is there any freedom of will? No, there is no freedom of will. Now, even if who will get this knowledge of rationality or intuitive knowledge, that is also जब सब कुछ ही फिक्स्ड है तो हाँ सब कुछ फिक्स्ड है. In Spinoza's philosophy, everything is fixed. When everything is fixed, हम कर क्या रहे हैं? कुछ नहीं. We are just mere puppets. क्या क्या है बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स कर दिया. कौन सा पार्ट? No, this is how the self-help speakers interpret Spinoza. So a lot of how many of you have read one or the other self-help book? Raise your hand. I'm not going to take it away from you, that book. हाँ बताओ. बाकियों ने नहीं पढ़ी? मतलब तुमने सेल्फ हेल्प भी नहीं पढ़ा? अच्छा वैसे सच बताओ. अच्छा वेरी फ्रैंकली मतलब करते क्या थे अपनी एडोलेसेंट एज में? मतलब क्या? मूवीज तुमने देखी नहीं, बुक्स तुमने पढ़ी नहीं, सीरीज तक नहीं देखी तुमने, है ना? तो मोबाइल की बात ही नहीं हो रही. आर वी टॉकिंग अबाउट मोबाइल? बुक्स? हाँ. You have watched V for Vendetta? Ah, lovely. Yes, that idea of whose time has come. So these are. So I'll tell you, it's very important. So as a teacher, I'm telling you, देखो, of course, UPSC we will study and we will clear. But apart from that, it is very important that हम अपना दिमाग को ना खोलें. The more exposure we have, more understanding we have about the world, better prospects we will have in all the dimensions. In all dimensions. Like, do you feel you have become more wise after reading maybe only 4 philosophers? Do you feel a little more wiser? 0.01% maybe, or 1%? Huh? You feel a little more wiser? अच्छा, anybody who still feel कि नहीं कोई wise कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, मतलब कोई छोटी भी सी भी समझदारी आई नहीं, ऐसा हुआ है क्या? कोई है? सबको एक थोड़ा सा wiser feel हो रहा है. This is because you got to know certain ideas which were not in your mind. You never looked at these things from this perspective, isn't it? Similarly, this happens when you read a book, when you read or when you watch a movie. अब मूवी का मतलब ये नहीं कि कभी खुशी कभी गम देख ली, या मतलब ये ना हम तुम्हारे हैं कौन, भाई मतलब ठीक है वो भी देख लो once in a while, but some things which challenge your thinking process, which develops that, है ना? So there are certain things which help you understand certain concepts of science. All these concepts. So the better, I always say, better a person understands science, better he is in philosophy. If you do not understand science, you will not be able to understand philosophy in real text, in context, because these two are very related. If you are interested in science fiction, then you are bound to be interested in philosophy, because all science fictions take their inspiration from one or the other philosophy. Any good science fiction you take up, any good science fiction, any Oscar winning, mind bending, mind blowing movie Hollywood has made, inspired by one or the other philosophy. So do you understand the kind of exposure that I am talking to you about? हाँ बताओ, ऑस्कर विनिंग मूवी कौन सी थी इस बार? एवरीथिंग एवरीवेयर ऑल एट once. Can you understand it through Spinoza? Everything, everywhere, all at once. Substance? Or the moment we, so it will become more clear when we study Leibniz, but the parallel world theory, how many of you know parallel world theory of science? Multiverse? Quantum entanglement. अच्छा, quantum entanglement, how many know? बाकी क्या करो भैया? हम साइंस नहीं पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन छुटके छुटके मैं बता देती हूँ that there is this science, there is a theory by science that there are numerous parallel worlds whereby we are existing in one dimension, while there may be various other counter worlds which might be existing parallelly. हाँ, थोड़ा सा साइंस फिक्शन लग रहा है, ज्यादा साइंस की थ्योरी है, फिलोसफी की नहीं. ठीक है, साइंस की थ्योरी. इट इज अ theory of science. Okay. And now with the increasing technology, we are delving more into these facts and these concepts. The more you understand, the more you will find that there is something which is hinting towards one or the other philosophy in simple term. ठीक है, यहीं पे छोड़ देते हैं, वरना बहुत ज्यादा साइंस हो जाएगा फिलोसफी में. Okay. Next heading, 3 forms of God. 3 forms of God. अच्छा सॉरी, हम लोग पहले थीज्म के साथ कंपैरिजन कर रहे थे. You can do it? पक्का? नहीं लिखवाऊं? कॉन्फिडेंस से क्यों नहीं बोलते हो ये बताओ? Why can't you people have confidence that मैम कर लेंगे, आप चिंता मत करो? हाँ, करवा तो मैं दूंगी, लेकिन you people have to apply your own brains also, है ना? And develop that confidence in your thinking ability and your content. Okay, लिखवाना है ना? तुम भी बताओगे मुझे आंसर, और कोई नहीं बोलेगा. Difference between pantheism and theism. Tell me, first difference. Here, God is everywhere. Okay. Here? God is at the top. God is at the apex. Okay. Second. पता है? हाँ. Okay, impersonalistic God. Personalistic God. Okay. The relation of God and world is of? Relation of God and world is of? कैसे हैं दोनों? Identical? है ना? The relation is of identity. Here the relation is of cause and effect. Okay. So will it be helpful to pray to this God? No. Will he come to help? No help. Will he pray, listen to your prayers? No. Will he? Yes. Okay. What else? दोनों ही इंडिपेंडेंट है. वो वाला भगवान किस पे डिपेंडेंट है? Indescribable, of course. So this is indescribable. Here you give a description of God. बताते नहीं हो? सांवले सलोने से मेरे कन्हैया. Didn't you give a description? है ना? एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी. What is this? A description of Ganesh ji? So there is a description, but can you put any description to substance of Spinoza? You cannot. Okay, tell me more. In theism, God exists in another world, Vaikunt, heaven, any other. Here, immanent within this world. Okay. Here, God is kind, omnipotent, takes away your pains. Here, is God kind? No. Will he take away your pain? Is there any distinction between good and evil? No. There is a distinction between good and evil, Pap Punya. But is there any Pap Punya here? No. अब इसमें मैंने कुछ नया बताया क्या? Anything new that I added? All the things that we have already discussed? नहीं है. अच्छा सुनो. स्पाइनोजा तो हो ही गया एक. दूसरा कन कन में भगवान है. What does it कन कन में भगवान है means? God is everywhere. भगवान की मर्जी के बिना पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता. जो होता है भगवान की मर्जी से होता है. What does it mean? That everything happens because of the wish of God, and nothing can happen without the wish of God. What is this? Determinism, isn't it? Okay. ये दुनिया और भगवान में क्या अंतर है? Which God? Hinduism is such a beautiful religion whereby the spectrum is so wide. So wide. You are an atheistic, you can be a Hindu. Hindu is actually not a description of religion. It's a geographical identity. You know that, right? That it's the people who were living on this side of the Sindhu were known as Hindu because they were not able to speak sir, and they used to speak it as her. So we people became Hindu. So all the people, all the diversity was known as, termed as Hindu. So is it a religious connotation? No. It's a way of life. It's a culture that has been described as this. But later on, it evolved as a religion. So when we say, yeah, तुम लोग मुझसे ना ये ऐसे society की चीजें पढ़ लो, तुम मेरे से philosophy मत पढ़ो. So all the religions, even in Hindu religion, the spectrum is very vast in the sense. So there is like from atheism to a little bit theism to pantheism to all the theisms, all the spectrums are found. Personalistic, impersonalistic, all spectrums are found. So Hinduism is one culture whereby all the shades and flavors are found. Nahin. Have you heard about Arya Samaj? Arya Samaj. Which god does Arya Samaj pray? Is there any god? Is Arya Samaj Hindu? Hindu ना? अच्छा, मुझे लगा किसी ने नो बोला. Shankarites. There are followers of Shankaracharya. So there are numerous. Nirankari in Sikhism also. There is a Nirankari sect. What is it? अरे यार तुम लोगों तो बेसिक रिलीजन्स की भी नॉलेज नहीं है यार हैं तो करें तो करना तो इसमें क्या बुराई है अरे तो करे जिसको करना है करे और जिसको नहीं करना बना फिर Of course, absolutely. There is a direct comparison between Spinoza and Shankaracharya. But why we will not do it now? Because we haven't studied Shankaracharya. है ना? Any comparison that I will tell you about Shankaracharya, it will be like, पता नहीं क्या कैसे comparison हो रहा है. Once we will complete Shankaracharya, then we will do it. And then actually it will not have to be done. You will just read it in your notes. It will be understood. Because there is stark similarities. Stark. Okay. Let us write. ये लिख लिया? लिख लिया? Okay. Criticism लिख लिया? सीधा. अच्छा. 3 forms of God. First, rather than the God of Spinoza's philosophy, the God of Spinoza's philosophy can be seen from 3 perspectives. Can be seen from 3 perspectives. Or 3 forms. 3 perspectives or 3 forms. First, absolute God. First, absolute God. Second, natura naturans. And third, natura naturata. Natura naturans and natura naturata. Next paragraph. When we are looking at things from the perspective of modes, when we are looking at the world from the perspective of modes, then we can see the expression of God as natura naturata. Then we can see the expression of God as natura naturata. Next paragraph. When we try to use reason, and see the unity beyond modes, then we get the knowledge of natura naturans. But the ultimate knowledge of substance, as indeterminate, absolute God, beyond experience rather, absolute God beyond experience is known through intuitive knowledge. It is known through intuitive knowledge. Full stop. At this level, there is knowledge of absolute substance. As the unity absolute substance as the unity with unity, or rather unity from where all plurality is deduced. Unity from where all plurality is deduced. क्रिटिसिज्म बताओ, कुछ क्रिटिसिज्म सोच सकते हैं क्या हम? हाँ, फर्स्ट, इग्नोर्स इमोशंस ऑफ पीपल, है ना, पीपल के इमोशंस के बारे में, and considers everything to be only rational. Okay. Purpose. No, that's a different argument. Actually, purpose is like, वो हम पढ़ेंगे, philosophy of religion में पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन अगर अभी आपको मैं बताऊं, अगर कोई चीज परफेक्ट होती है तो उसका क्या पर्पस होता है? कुछ पर्पस बचता है उसके पास? If something is perfect, will he or she desire anything? No. So if God is perfect, should the God desire anything? No. So so desire means purpose? No. So should God have any purpose if God is perfect? If God is desiring anything, if there is some purpose left for the God, is the God perfect? Can you understand this logic? कोई reason नहीं है. If you try to find reason, this means you are considering the substance as imperfect. But perfect, उसने पहले ही बता दिया ना कि भाई perfect है, मान लो. He is starting his argument with that only, है ना? Of course, we can criticize any number on all the arguments, but this is what he has said, explained. Okay. Any other criticism? Tell me. अभी तो बहुत सारे हैं, बोलो. So he has used geometric method, which is static. Therefore, Spinoza's world is static. What? लिखते रहो साथ साथ, या फिर मैं अलग से भी लिखवा दूंगी, लेकिन लिख लो. These are points which you should write simultaneously. What else? And try to learn to write in your own language. Until unless you develop that ability, it will be very difficult. थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन लेफ्ट राइट हुआ तो क्या हो जाएगा? I can give you fish for some time, but ultimately you will have to learn to fish. अपनी मछली पकड़ना खुद सीखना पड़ेगा. अपनी मछली पकड़ना का क्या मतलब है? खुद से लिखना सीखना पड़ेगा. भाई अब आज तो मेरे से नोट्स ले लो, ऑफिसर बन करके कहो कि मैम आ जाओ फाइलों पे भी लिख दो. प्लीज राइट फॉर अस इन फाइल. Please write a report for us. How can I do that? Can I do that? You will have to learn through that ability that the moment you understand something, you can express it in your own words. If the theory is clear to you, you should be able to write in your own words, because that ability will give you really good marks. Problem is that in GS also you people try to copy. You try to learn definitions, you try to learn this and that, and then you reproduce. But something which you have read from book, 4 lines, you write 4 lines, but that idea could be delivered in 1 line only. But for that you will have to write it in your own words by understanding and by concising it. Concising तो बाद की ability है, वो बाद का skill है. पहले हमें क्या सीखना है? पहला stage क्या है? If you have understood something, write it in your own language. ठीक है? Let us try. देखो notes आपको प्रिंटेड दे दिए, प्रिंटेड में है सब कुछ है, बहुत एग्जॉस्टिव है, नथिंग इज लेफ्ट, है ना, डोंट वरी, नथिंग विल बी मिस्ड। यहां से नहीं होगा तो वहां से कॉपी कर लेना, ठीक है, बट वी विल हैव टू लर्न हाउ टू राइट योर इन योर ओन वर्ड्स। विल यू ट्राई? पक्का? दो चार लोग तो घबराए घबराए से दिख रहे हैं, वो खुद लगाना पड़ेगा, खुद तेज लिखना पड़ेगा, बट ट्राई, दिस इज द एबिलिटी दैट विल गेट यू सिलेक्टेड, है ना, नो अमाउंट ऑफ नोट्स विल गेट यू सिलेक्टेड, ट्रस्ट। Notes and all these things are supplementary facilitators, howsoever good notes, my notes also, anybody's notes are only supplementary and facilitators. All books are supplementary and facilitators. Ultimately you will have to write in your own understanding, because does question comes directly from any book? Philosophy में तो चलो फिर भी आते हैं, GS, does any notes directly from any notes? So you have to apply your own brains and merge information from different sources and put it in one page, 2 page. And do you think it's an easy task? Yeah, but it is a doable task. It may not be easy at the starting, but after some time, it will be really natural. Like, do you have to strain your mind to write the spelling of cat, bat, rat? But imagine when you were 3 years old, maybe 4 years old. At that time, was it difficult? It was very difficult. But now it is not difficult. What changed? It has become natural because you have done it many times. So if you learn to write your own notes while I am speaking, while I am explaining, है ना, थोड़ा repetition ही तो होगा शुरुआत में, but you will start getting that hack of writing things. And keep writing. Fine? Okay. Right? Have you written these 2 points? Okay. Tell me, what are the other criticisms of Spinoza? Yes, he said that there are infinite attributes, but then gave only 2 attributes. Why can't we know the other attributes? Shouldn't we be knowing other attributes also? Problem. No, this is not a criticism. The difference is only an illusion. Huh? Everything becomes conscious, isn't it? Everything becomes conscious. Even rocks become conscious. But this is not a scientific fact. Not a scientific, not supported by science. Okay, next. That's true. Limited thinking and limited extension. That's true. What else? We are not free to do anything. Free will gone. Everything is predetermined. What are we here for? Are we puppets? हाँ, इसके अकॉर्डिंग स्पाइनोजा की तो क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं. Very true. No free will, everything becomes determined. Or no purpose for human life. No purpose for human life also. There is no teleology. No. That's not purpose. That is just, if you want to better navigate this world, do it if you want to. It's not something. So देखो, teleology is अच्छे कर्म करो ताकि भगवान तुम्हें आशीर्वाद दे. You should do good work or good deeds so that God blesses you and takes you to heaven. This is what? A purpose. Where you are aiming towards what? Heaven or moksha or God, whatever. That's a purpose we all should be aiming at. But is there any purpose in substance? Does he give any aim to you? He's not giving us any aim. Yes, he compared human emotions, human beings with lines, shapes, and all of these geometrical figures. God is indeterminate. How can he have attributes? Perfect. देखो तुम लोग आधे फिलोसोफर बन गए. अब क्या लिखवाऊंगी मैं तुम्हें? You people are given me all the criticism. Yes. So God is indeterminate. How can he have any attributes? On one side, you are saying you cannot determine, but then you give infinite attributes or infinite qualities. But is it the right criticism? It's not the right criticism. Why? Because Spinoza has himself said that contradictory qualities can stay in substance because of its unique quality, unique ability. Okay, everything depends on determinism, no cause, no effect. Fine. Anything else? Ethics? Will there be any ethics in the society? Is there anything evil? And is there anything good? So, भाई अगर किसी ने किसी को मार दिया तो डिटर्मिनिज्म था, isn't it? Can you see? Difficult ethics. Okay. और बताओ. Parallelism. So naturally, when we actually, science has proven that there is this neuronal pathway that is helping in the action. So definitely parallelism is not right according to the discoveries of science. He ignores the scope for innovation and dynamism in this world. Yes, he made the world static. He could not explain the dynamism in this world. He could not explain the dynamism in this world. और बताओ. भक्ति वाले लोग कहाँ जाएंगे? So tell me, I have given you this theory of Spinoza, but are you satisfied? Does it give you hope? Of course, it gives us peace, but does it give us hope? Hope पता है कैसे मिलेगी? Hope मिलेगी यार, हम सबके ऊपर एक ईश्वर है who takes care of us, and that being is very kind. If something will go wrong, the God will come and protect us. This gives hope. This feels better emotionally. You feel better protected, isn't it? So bhakti, so he doesn't actually makes any difference. So at the Spinoza's level, there is no difference between worshipper and worshipped. भगवान और भक्त में कोई अंतर है क्या? एक ही है, लेकिन पूजा करने के लिए तो अंतर चाहिए ना. You need that antar. So God will be the giver and you will be the seeker. But that difference will require theism. But Spinoza's philosophy is pantheism. सही तो मतलब. Whatever you accept, we are not talking about that. We like it or not, but From the other perspective, we will have to criticize. देखो ऐसा होता है, स्पाइनोजा पढ़ने के बाद लोग आधे स्पाइनोजियंस हो जाते हैं, है ना? Some people become Spinozians. After some time, you will become Kantians, है ना? And then you will like, नहीं नहीं Spinoza तो. After some time, you will become Wittgensteins. And after some time, you will take another existentialist. पढ़ने के बाद तो existentialism के बाद half of you will be Sartre, half of you will be Kierkegaard. So it's like this only. Each philosopher is saying something really substantial. That is why we are reading him. Are we reading random people? We are reading people who have really made a mark with their theories, who have really created something out of the box on which one or the other scientific theory or research is being done. We are reading those people, which might appear, which might be proven right. We don't know when, but they can be. There is some substance in their theory. Can you understand this? Yeah. With the kind of ambiguity we have in science, all these philosophers must be saying something substantial. That is why we are reading them. बिल्कुल perfect. We can. और कुछ? Like? कहाँ रिलीज हो रहा है? सब्सटेंस में तो हो रहा है. एनर्जी कहाँ है? एनर्जी कहाँ है? सब्सटेंस में ही है. वो कहाँ है? अलग अलग है ना. चलो नेक्स्ट हेडिंग, बॉन्डेज लिबरेशन. बॉन्डेज एंड लिबरेशन ऑफ स्पाइनोजा. What will be bondage about according to Spinoza? आप लोग बताओ, पढ़ चुके हैं हम, अब सिर्फ आपको बताना जरूरी है. Yes. देखो, till the time we have imaginative knowledge. Imaginative knowledge means we believe modes to be. Therefore, we believe modes to be real. Therefore, our emotions are attached to modes, and our decisions are emotional and passion based. Therefore, we have inadequate ideas, confused. Therefore, it leads to pain or bondage. Isn't it the bondage? ठीक है. Opposite क्या होगा? Rational, intuitive knowledge. What is this knowledge? It is the knowledge of. It is the knowledge of unity or the knowledge of substance. समझ में आ रहा है? ये कौन सी knowledge है? Modes की, जब चीजें हमें अलग अलग नजर आ रही हैं. ये भाई है, ये भाई नहीं है, ऐसे समझो. ये भाई है और ये भाई नहीं है. तो जब भाई है तो उससे प्यार है. If the other person is my brother, then I love him. And if I love him, this means that if he does anything wrong, should I save him? Even if it is not right. If he gets hurt, what I do? I also get hurt. I also feel the pain. But according to Spinoza, ये सब क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि मुझे वो substance से अलग दिख रहा है ना? लेकिन अगर मुझे इसमें और इसमें कोई अंतर ना नजर आए तो कोई दर्द होगा, दुख होगा. I will not be sad or having any pain if I understand the reality that everything here on this earth is mere expression or reflection of God. अब इसको कैसे समझेंगे? ऐसे समझो. Supposedly, I make your avatars in a video game. Then I make two teams. है ना? You are real also, but in a video game, I put your avatars or images. Then I make two teams, and I say, ये लो बंदूकें, खेलो. है ना? Play. Only one team can win. So when you people are playing that video game, you kill each other. Do you start to cry? No? Why not? पता है कि वो रियल नहीं है, वो क्या है? Imaginary avatar. It's only a character. So this knowledge only gives you the understanding, and you are not crying. You are not in pain, or you are not hurt. Only with this knowledge. And supposedly, if you have the same knowledge about this world, will this world be painful for you? Huh? If we understand that this world is only illusory, but the real essence is substance. Can you understand this? Yes. Yes, you will get affected. Yes. How? देखो अब तुम लोग थोड़ा सा फिलॉसफी से बाहर आ गए, लेकिन फिर भी. But still, I'll explain it to you because it's very important for ethics also. All of you must have heard about the Manipur incident. Yes. You heard about it? You saw some visuals about it? It happened in a very remote area of Manipur. But tell me, does it impact you? How many of you think that it impacts you? Okay, how many of you think that it directly impacts you? Directly impacts. And how many of you think there is no impact? I'll tell you. So, even though that incident happened in a far-flung area to a person who is unknown, but still, the kind of effect that it will have will be long-lasting, and it is having a direct impact on us. I'll tell you how. So girls, of course, and boys also have some female in their family, mothers, sisters, friends, anybody, one or the other. Now, you are from good families and you could understand the plight of the victims. But that visuals must have been circulated to even people who are not that wise. Now, there is this embedded subconscious idea that such thing can also happen. And howsoever immune we think we are or our families are, but is it? It impacts everybody. It impacts the way society looks at genders. Isn't it? When gender becomes a means of violence, a means of revenge, or a means of power, the whole thing gets distorted. So rather than it becoming a political issue, it has become a social issue. Demands are political, but expression is. And the moment you do that, it will have impacts. And each one of us is directly impacted. We might not be able to feel it, We might not be able to understand it right now. But yes, these things directly impact. This is what Spinoza's theory is also. That everything that happens in substance impacts the complete substance. So if somebody is making pornography in far-flung areas, maybe in US, it appears that it is not impacting us. But is it fueling human trafficking? Isn't it? And human trafficking, do you think that human trafficking means because we don't know somebody doesn't mean that that person is not known to anybody? Difference समझ में आ रहा है? So those girls must also be the daughters, sisters, and known to of some people who might still be searching for them. Can you understand the thing that pornography was made there, but it threw an idea to the people. Now, people and ideas never die. There is one thing which we have to understand. Ideas never die. If you have any idea, good or bad, it will take shape later or sometime, anytime it will take shape. We don't know when. Yeah? So the idea of violence, have you seen that in recent times, the violence against women has increased, especially of sexual nature? And why has it increased? Because the ideas that have been put up by the pornographies, those have created a wave. Just as a positive idea creates a wave, similarly, a negative idea creates a wave. And we have to understand that as a society, we must all be very concerned about any such event. And if if any essay or ethics question comes over it, you know that on what lines you have to think. Fine? Okay. चलो बॉन्डेज और लिबरेशन लिख लोगे? लिखवा देती हूँ, चलो लिखवा देती हूँ, लिख लेंगे। अच्छा इसमें बताओ फिर क्या लिखोगे? Knowledge of unity, then it is the knowledge of unity or substance. Here you work according to reason, and here your ideas will be adequate or inadequate? Adequate. Adequate ideas. Here you will have pain or pleasure? Peace. Blessedness rather. किसने बोला ये? Blessedness, and this is the stage of liberation. Fine? फ्लो चार्ट बना लो फिर। ये सब क्या है? ये सब एक्सटर्नल कॉज और ये सब इंटरनल कॉज। हाँ हाँ, पूछ रहे हो बता रहे हो? पहले तो ये क्लियर करो। अच्छा बता रहे हो क्या? हाँ लगभग, यस, बना लिया। आगे चले। इवैल्यूएशन हम लोगों ने लिख लिया था क्या? स्पाइनोजा का इवैल्यूएशन नहीं लिखा था? चलो लिख लो स्पाइनोजा का इवैल्यूएशन। फर्स्ट वैसे प्रिंटेड में है बहुत अच्छे से, रहने दो, वहीं से देख लोगे, लिख लो इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ स्पाइनोजा फ्रॉम प्रिंटेड नोट्स, बिकॉज इट्स जस्ट द रिपीटिशन। Yes, it's criticism. Very valid criticism. So, on one hand, Spinoza criticizes Descartes for creating two relative substances. On the other hand, he himself creates not just substance, not just substance, but infinite attributes, infinite modes. So, definitely, he also has the hints of pluralism. But Spinoza क्या बोलेगा इस पे? वो बोलेगा भाई मैंने प्लूरैलिटी मना थोड़ी ना करी है, बट द प्लूरैलिटी इज illusory, reality is unity. हाँ, वो तुमने लिखा था, वो तुमने लिखा था ना क्रिटिसिज्म. Yes, that is the criticism of Spinoza, that he's not able to clearly express this concept of unity and pluralism, because the moment you say everything is illusory, you are actually escaping from the explanation of the reality. You are explaining, rather than telling कि ये दुनिया कैसे चलेगी, ये कैसा ठीक होगी, how to remove pain from this earth, in this world, you are saying कि वो कौन सा गाना है कि गम या खुशी में साथ निभाता चला गया, क्या था? मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया. अरे यार तुम लोगों को गाना नहीं, गाना ये वाला ना, मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया. इसके आगे एक लाइन है, जहां गम और खुशी के अंदर अंतर महसूस ना हो. आज जाके सुन लेना भाई, ये गाना सुन लेना, है ना? So there is this words. I'm bad with lyrics, so that is why I'm not able to recite it properly. But there is this line, okay, we want to reach a place where there is no difference between pain and pleasure. Right? So something like this Spinoza is talking about. Right? देवानंद का गाना है. मेरी आवाज अच्छी नहीं है. मैम, हाउ द, जैसे तुम लोगों को भी पता है तुम कितना पढ़ते हो ना, वैसे मुझे भी पता है मेरा कितना अच्छा गाना है. Ma'am, how that any thought comes to our mind, which is the reason to come any thought, if inappropriate, can you ignore? थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स है. विरक्ति, विरक्ति क्या? हाँ, विरक्ति नहीं, विरक्ति is, what is virakti? Virakti is when you withdraw from the world. This is not withdrawal from the world. This is, I love this concept very much, equanimity. है ना? एक रिलीजन बनाना है मुझे थोड़े समय बाद. हाँ. देख रहे हो? बताओ यार, मैं तो तुम लोगों को काउंट करके चल रही हूँ अपनी पार्टी में, और तुम लोग ऐसे कर रहे हो. So the word for this is equanimity. What is equanimity? When you are not too happy when you are in happiness, and when you are not too sad when you are in trouble. So having that sthit pragya means stability, है ना? Because when something is causing happiness, it's not because of you. Inner peace, yes. And when something is going wrong, it's also not because of you. And to have that sense, that wisdom is equanimity. यही है गीता का सार. गीता क्या कहती है? कर्म कर, फल की इच्छा मत कर. नहीं, हमने गलत सही की बात करी क्या अभी? दैट्स कर्मा थ्योरी, इंडियन में आता है. ओके फाइन, ठीक है. अब हम छोटा सा एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन लेंगे लेबनीज का आज, और कल से स्टार्ट करेंगे, ठीक है? So Leibniz, we read Aristotle. After that, only other person. So Aristotle में हमने एक line पढ़ी थी that Aristotle was known as the person who knew everything which was to be known in his time. He knew everything and he wrote on everything. He was an expert on so many things. Similar was the case with Leibniz. He is such a prodigy, such a genius. His father was a professor and he had access to library in that university. तो तुम्हारी तरह नहीं कि access होने के बाद भी नहीं पढ़ा. He actually read books after books, books after books. And maybe he was around like what, 13, 14. And he had already done his PhD, etc. And just check the facts about his age. But he was a really genius person and he worked on so many things. How many of you know what is calculus? You know calculus? Who invented it? Leibniz. Calculus. Theorem. Do you know Leibniz theorem? Yes. Maths people will know. Leibniz, the same Leibniz. There are a lot of laws in physics, a lot of concepts in chemistry. It's like you name it and he has done work, significant work on that. He wrote so much in science, astronomy, all of the maths. He wrote so much that even now it is said that we haven't been able to complete more than 60% of his work. We are not able to decode his work because still people are reading and trying to decode his work. He has written so much, and there is a belief that it will take another many decades to decode what he wrote back then. So definitely he wrote too much and his work is seminal. Seminal means like too great a work. And in everything, math, science, everything. He is a great person in that sense. Of course, he had a fight with Newton on a few issues and specifically this calculus. So who are you? That Newton also invented this calculus and Leibniz also. But somehow Newton had better friends. Therefore, he became popular as the person who invented calculus. But it is said, now the Leibniz said that he had some, he went to there and there Newton actually caught hold of his books and therefore he was able to copy them. He was a copier, he's a cheat. And similar arguments are given by Newton. So these two people fought, big luminaries of that time. And they divided the mathematical and the scientific communities of that time. There is a book after over it also. ठीक है, तो आपस में बहुत लड़े. टेस्ला और उसका तो पता ही होगा एडिसन का. ऐसे ही एक लड़ाई टेस्ला एडिसन की भी थी, उस पर तो मूवी भी बनी हुई है. तो उसी तरीके की लड़ाई थी न्यूटन और लेबनीज की. So Leibniz was a genius. Then when you read his philosophy, it's a little tricky to understand. There are only few philosophers who are a little tricky to understand. But if you understand them, then you find something they have said, makes some sense. Definitely. अब इतने बड़े आदमी ने, इतने साइंटिफिक आदमी ने विद ओरिएंटेशन टुवर्ड्स मैथ्स अगर उसने कुछ कहा है तो कुछ तो सोच के कहा होगा. फाइन. तो उसने क्या कहा? So according to Descartes, how many substances are there? Three substances, one ultimate substance as God and two relative substance as body and mind. But this could not solve the problem of body and mind. Therefore came Spinoza. He said that there is only and only one substance with no parts, nothing, with No other substance, only and only one substance. But when he tried to explain, he could not explain the world of plurality and diversity. He made the world static. But is the world static? No. It's changing. It's continuously changing. There is this dynamism in the world, and there is this plurality. New and new things are coming up each day. AI आ गया, smartphones आ गए. So many things are coming up each day. How can you explain this world or this existence only on the basis of unity of substance? Difficult. So, therefore, Leibniz rejected Spinoza also. He said that this unity is not able to explain the diversity and plurality of this universe. This world is really plural, and it's not able to, the Spinoza's substance is not able to explain the diversity. इतनी different चीजें हैं, आपने कह दिया सब substance की बनी है, थोड़ा variety explain नहीं हो पा रही. Therefore, to explain this, he gave his theory of monadology or monads. What are monads? So, you all understand atoms? What are atoms? Smallest unit of matter. Atoms are smallest unit of matter. Can you break atom? What do you get? Electron, proton, neutron. Can you break them? Then what do you get? When you break them? Lepton. Can you break them? Whatever, even if you, what you get after leptons, can you still break them? So this means anything which has extension, anything which is material will always be divisible. Will it end? It cannot end. This means that we cannot reach the fundamental unit of universe through matter. Because if we consider matter to be there, this means there is no fundamental unit that we can get. Whatever you will get, it is further divisible. Whatever you will get, it will be further divisible. आपने कहा भाई हमने इसको तोड़ा है ना, ये 0.001 है, फिर इसको तोड़ा 0.00001 है, फिर इसको तोड़ा 0, but it will never be, it's unending. This means that matter cannot explain the world. This world of existence, matter cannot explain according to Leibniz. We cannot reach a fundamental unit this world is made up of. And then he also realizes that जिस चीज को हम matter कह रहे हैं वो क्या है? वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक फोर्स है. जिस चीज को हम मैटर कह रहे हैं वो फोर्स है. जैसे एक कुछ लो हाथ में, ऐसे पकड़ो कुछ. अब बताओ इसको तुम्हारा हाथ ऐसे क्यों नहीं जा पा रहा? Why is it not going past this thing? Because something is stopping it. Something is stopping it. To stop this force, there must be a equal and opposite force. Only then this will be countered. Simple physics. Only then this will be countered. So this explanation can be, so this thing can be explained by force. Why do we need to create an entity known as matter? समझ में आ रहा है? थोड़ा, हाँ इतना ही समझना है. ये थोड़ा सा मैं ज्यादा साइंस से समझा रही हूँ, लेकिन मैं इसलिए समझा रही हूँ because if you understand Leibniz through science, only then it is easily understandable. Else it appears as नहीं क्या कह रहा है ऐसे वाला feeling एक आ सकती है. Just to understand that. So have you heard this theorem about E is equal to E is M is? So this says that mass can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into mass. So mass is what? A form of energy. Mass is what? A form of energy. Simple. समझ में आ रहा है? Now, Leibniz changes a little worldview. He says that world is not made up of atoms. World is made up of monads. And just like atoms are material points. Atoms क्या हैं? एकदम छोटे-छोटे points हैं matter के. But according to Leibniz, monads are spiritual points, conscious points, or force points. Force points means monads are small bundles of forces. All the monads are small bundles of forces. And how many monads are there? Infinite. We all, rather everything in the world is made up of monads. जैसे atoms मानते हैं साइंस, वैसे लेबनीज ने क्या मान लिया? नहीं तो अभी बताएंगे, अलग है, नाम नहीं बदला, सिर्फ बहुत कुछ बदल दिया. तो साइंस क्या मानता है? वर्ल्ड इज मेड अप ऑफ एटम्स. लेबनीज एक्सेप्ट्स दैट वर्ल्ड इज मेड अप ऑफ monads. Atoms are material in nature or the fundamental unit of matter. Monads are spiritual or force points and fundamental unit of universe. The world is made up of monads. This means that this table is made up of air, chair, trees, butterfly, donkey, us. Everything is made up of. The only reality is monads. And if we understand monads, we will be able to understand the world. Isn't it? Now, these monads, which are force points मतलब bundle of force. तो जो force points हैं, ये इकट्ठे होते हैं और एक क्या बना देते हैं? This is a unit of force or collection of force. That is why when you put your hand and you try to press it, you're not able to press it. Why? Because there is an equal and opposite force applied by this thing. But supposedly my force increases much more than this. What will happen? Crushed. So ultimately everything is made up of monads. And what are the characteristics of these monads? Will it be divisible? अलग अलग monads में monads are indivisible. They cannot divide. These are the fundamental units of universe. Fundamental. सारी चीजें किससे मिलके बनी है? Monads से. Monads ही एक reality है in the world. So you are made up of monads. Table is made up of monads. Everything is made up of monads and monads only. Now these monads are not material, but they are spiritual or conscious points. So force points, conscious points, ये सारे terms हैं उसके. ये सब उसने use किया है इसको explain करने के लिए, इस monad को. Now these monads which make up the whole universe, there is this very strange theory given by Leibniz that they do not interact with each other. One monad is not interacting with other monad. Why is it not interacting? Windowless, yes. नहीं, लेकिन वो interaction क्यों नहीं कर रहे एक दूसरे के साथ? क्योंकि हर मोनाड अपने आप में कंप्लीट है. अब इस बात को समझने के लिए हमें ना जेनेटिक्स समझनी पड़ेगी. I take your one cell. सबको imagine करना है, ठीक है? I am taking your one cell. From that cell, I take your chromosome, one chromosome, and that chromosome or that bundle of nucleus, does it have complete you? Achha, supposedly, we have evolved a very advanced science. And if I find in a cave, we have evolved a very, very advanced science now. है ना? We are in a science fiction. And we get to get hold of a cave where I find a tissue of a person who died in the past. Can I take the chromosome and build a person out of it? What are you? You are just the expression of chromosome. समझ में आती है बात? Whatever you are is just the expression of your chromosome. This means you are made up of 1 trillion cells. Your body is made up of 1 trillion cells. Each cell contains the complete you. Each cell contains the complete you. अगर मेरे पास ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी आ जाए कि मैं क्रोमोसोम से बंदा बना सकूं तो आपकी बॉडी से कितने बंदे बन सकते हैं? मतलब कितने क्लोन बन सकते हैं? और उनकी बॉडी से समझ में आ रहा है? So the monads we are talking about are complete picture within themselves. This is like they carry the impression of whole world. पूरी दुनिया में कब क्या कैसे होने वाला है, कब क्या हो रहा है, उसका इंप्रेशन उन मोनाड्स में है. अब मोनाड्स के पास एक मास्टर प्लान है. अब उस मास्टर प्लान के अकॉर्डिंग वो मोनाड्स वर्क कर रहे हैं. ऐसे समझो, एक मास्टर प्लान बनाया हम लोगों ने, है ना? हम सब ने बैठ के मैंने आप लोगों को एक मास्टर प्लान दिया कि मास्टर प्लान कि देखो है. अच्छा मैंने यार अभी मास्टर प्लान बना रही हूँ, बाद में बनाएंगे, रिलीजन बाद में. तो एक मास्टर प्लान बनाया that half of you will go from here to here and other half will go from here to here. मैंने सबको इंडिपेंडेंटली कान में जाके उनका मास्टर प्लान बता दिया, ओवरऑल भी बता दिया और उनको उनका रोल भी बता दिया. आपका रोल बता दिया कि भैया देखो तुम 10 कदम लेफ्ट जाना, राइट जाना, फिर 10 कदम लेफ्ट जाना, फिर 5 कदम लेफ्ट जाना. ऐसे सबको I have given the independent plan to each of you. Now you don't know each other's plan. You don't know each other's plan. But if you follow on your own plan, अपना अपना प्लान आप करते रहो और बस एक दूसरे से टकराओ नहीं, तो ऐसा लगेगा कि डांस हो रहा है. Can it appear as it is a beautiful dance that you people are doing? If it is synchronized, if I give the exact right steps to you, will it appear that you people are dancing together? As if you all have practiced it together? You are interacting with each other in that dance? Well, it will appear as if you are interacting. But are you interacting? You are only doing what you were told to do. And I, as God, know the master plan. You, as monads, are just following the small plans that are given to you. And you are just reflecting on the things around yourself. थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ में आ रहा है? आज इतना भी समझ में आ जाएगा तो बहुत है ना? आज बहुत ज्यादा समझने की जरूरत है भी नहीं, कल करेंगे. बट बेसिक अंदाजा समझ में आ रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है. ठीक है? It's a different and a lovely kind of a philosophy, different from Spinoza. Okay, so tomorrow we will continue. You're welcome.